All right, we're live.
All right, we're live. I'm sweating. It's hot in here. We've got the meat sweats because we got the boys, Rico Bosco's boys, dropped off a bunch of food. Got the meat sweats. I'm hot. I popped the shirt off and went with the old school Keith Hernandez.
Oh, beautiful.
One of the greatest shirts we ever sold. If you've got it, the I'm Keith Hernandez Seinfeld line there. If you've got it, it's a relic. It belongs in a museum. It's a beautiful piece of art. Maybe we'll run it back.
That would be fantastic because I don't have one.
Maybe we'll run it back. Yeah, why not, right? Unless this is like a likeness problem. Maybe we got C Indeed by Mex because he was like, no, you can't sell my shit. But classic shirt. We'll get into everything. First of all, update for Barstool at the ballpark, which tickets are just ripping. So last I heard, the Marlins, the opening day was sold out, and the Dodgers was sold out with the first few. I think the second one might be sold out as well. So, I mean, we are back to like what we were doing in, 2015, where we're selling out like 400 tickets at a clip. So get it in now while you can. Go to Mets.com/Barstool. Let me see the exact.
Turns out being stuck inside for a year and getting the richest owner in baseball makes people want to go outside and drink with all their pals.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Yeah, so I heard from Aaron that the April date was sold out. Just go to Mets.com/Barstool. Try to get whatever date you can. Some are sold out, some are not, but they are flying, so don't wait too much longer. Unlimited beer out there at the ballpark watching your team play. And what's interesting is there is some sort of cap on tickets, like as far as like attendance because of Corona, but ticket prices are the same. Like it's not like they're jacking prices up, being like, well, there's only 80%, so we're going to jack it up by whatever to make sure we make the same revenue. So at least that's what Steve Cohen's doing. I don't know about the broke boys. Maybe some broke owners are jacking prices, but Steve Cohen is doing it right. So you can get your tickets, Mets.com/Barstool, anywhere from $70 to $95. Unlimited beer. The May date is when Seven Line is also having an event. So we're going to do a little tailgate with them beforehand. That's like the two worlds coming together, and a lot of premium matchups against other NL East teams and other like superstar teams. So go get them, Mets.com/Barstool. We're trying to turn We Gotta Believe into like a mini Seven Line where we're going to be more of an events company than anything, I hope. We also have the We Gotta Believe Gala, the Steve Cohen opening day gala that was guaranteed a couple of years ago before the Wilpons tried to delay the fucking inevitable. What a bunch of losers they are. And now, and then Corona fucked it over. I don't even know. Is Steve doing his? Because we're doing ours. I don't know if Steve's doing his.
Maybe Steve will make an appearance.
Come on by the live screen.
We'll send you the StreamYard link.
Imagine if Steve Cohen opened up our StreamYard link. Imagine, and he's an older guy. So imagine like this. Like he's like, headphones in. Can you hear? Are you guys good? Can you? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Can you hear? Oh,
Steve, okay. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Steve fucking Cohen would be unbelievable. Steve, any of the Cohens, of course, anybody's welcome.
No Wilpons are welcome. Let's make that extremely clear. That's the only.
You know what?
It would be fun to just roast Jeff Wilpon.
I will allow Jeff and Bradley. Bradley Wilpon, come on down, brother. You can join. Imagine if Bradley Wilpon was like a cool dude. Imagine if he was just like a regular guy who was just like, yeah, I don't know, man. Dad, he sucked at this, but like whatever. We tried to enjoy it while we could. I was just like, all right, man, respect it. There's no way. There's no way that Bradley Wilpon is a cool dude, though. It's just impossible. So the gala will be Wednesday, March 31st, the night before opening day on Thursday. So right before baseball officially kicks off, the We Gotta Believe Gala. We're going to get decked out. Cake, punch, and Coors Light will be served. The link will go out. I want people to submit their videos. You can, kind of like if you've been watching the KFC radio shows live, you can send in videos that we will splice into the show. So what do you say we do, like, send us your best and worst Mets moments? And so we'll do the highs and the lows of being a Mets fan as we kick off another season, a rare season where we have some high expectations. So best videos, most interesting stories, best fans, best performances will make it to the live stream. Hope to have a few guests. I'm sure we can get Darren to come on by. I think I texted Gio about maybe joining. So going to reach out to some of the other Mets. Oh, the air is on. You feel that? Oh, my God. Thank you. So we're going to have some Mets fans in attendance for the gala with us. And we'll do it up fancy. We'll do it up proper, Clem. I don't even know where my suits are.
I got a Men's Warehouse, like one of my 7 dozen that I got when I bought one somewhere upstairs. I have to see what fits after the quarantine and what doesn't. Yep. So we'll be piecing it together. And
the good news is you just need the jacket and the shirt because
that's true.
Sweatpants. But we're gonna rock tuxedos and sweatpants.
Yeah. Maybe we'll also do we should do some sort of best review. Give us your best and worst moment. We'll give in a few iTunes reviews as well, right? We'll give best and worst moment and be very and be descriptive and it could be personal. Again, we talked the Jay Payne story you were telling last week. I love shit like that. My guy, fucking Dennis Cook, get absolutely slandered. I swear, if you motherfuckers today bring up anything about Darren Oliver, I'm gonna fucking fist fight you through the computer because I loved Darren Oliver in his 2006 season. That was our Dennis Cook.
Do you remember when we said that Dennis Cook was a designated butt rubber?
Yeah, Al Leiter had a sore ass or something like that. And we were like, Dennis Cook's only job should be to massage Al Leiter's ass cheek.
He caught so many ricochet shots from the Clancy family. Man, we flamed that guy. He got absolutely cooked every time he made an appearance. It was unbelievable.
It's a good thing social media and Twitter wasn't around back then because we were much more ruthless than we are now.
Yeah, big time. Big time, man. All right, so that's the housekeeping. Go get your Mets Barstool the Ballpark tickets. Oh, go get your Lindor shirts. Francisco Lindor Day is April 10th for the Mets for our first Barstool the Ballpark outing. Everybody who bought tickets, if you bought a ticket and you buy the Lindor shirt and wear it to the park that day, you'll get 20% off your next Mets Barstool purchase. So if you already got tickets or you already got the shirt, buy the other one, make the package complete. And you can get 20% off your next Mets purchase because a Lindor Day at the ballpark, everybody drinking, everybody back out of the house, Mets home opener weekend.
Everybody's smiling. You gotta be smiling like Francisco Lindor.
Did I see that he doesn't like being called Frankie? Because that's a problem.
Yeah,
I'm calling him Frankie. I'm sorry, Frankie.
Yeah,
your name's Frankie.
I don't like being called KFC. Guess what, brother? It is what it is, man. He is. I know that Jared jumped on Tatis and made him the face of baseball. I know that Harper's had the hair flip for a while, and there's a couple other names. Francisco Lindor in New York City with that smile, those shades, and blue fucking hair is going to be the most recognizable face in the sport. We can get into the semantics of face of baseball and whatnot. I know Fernando Tatis has a pretty unique look too, but blue hair in New York, with a blue uniform to boot, the matching of it all, that smile, he's gonna be the most marketable guy in the fucking world. So unless he has some catastrophic injury or some KFC mush regression, if he plays up to his potential in New York, looking the way he looks, he'll be the face of baseball. I don't give a fuck what Fernando Tatis Jr. does.
I don't like hearing the M word. Don't you bring up the M word? Is gone. We can't bring up the M word right now because now I'm actually kind of worried about next season. Now I'm kind of worried about.
Kev almost mushed Instagram.
Oh my God!
He almost mushed the whole platform.
We almost got to 500 million views on Instagram, and then that day, views disappeared on people's feeds for some reason. And I was like, don't tell me this is one of those things. They're getting rid of likes and they're getting rid of views right when I'm starting to get views, you motherfuckers. Came back, thankfully. But that's kind of what happened with the Mets. I thought that I mushed them with Jared Porter. Thought that I mushed them with Mickey Callaway. And we seem to have just taken that in stride. We handled that well with our infrastructure. We had a little blip on the radar with infrastructure. Now we are back solid. And I'd almost rather that. I'd rather if Steve Cohen came and everything was going well, I'd be sitting here being like, well, how are we going to react when we have some adversity? How, are we going to be able to handle it when shit does go wrong? Maybe these guys will fuck it up just as bad as the Wilpons. Maybe the players don't have the the intestinal fortitude to deal with it, all this shit. Well, we've had two, pretty big curveballs thrown our way in one offseason, and we seemingly have not made a mockery of ourselves. So I think we're good at handling shit now, which is pretty crazy.
Just again, this is the house. Fix her up, and there's something. But once you get the infrastructure built, you fucking fixing a couple walls. That's easy work. It's ugly. Baby. Boom, done, and then we move forward from here to the it's going to be 3 to 5 years from now. After that first World Series, we're going to look back and go, "Well, 2021. Those are crazy times. Everything is great now."
You know what I think it is too? It's like, when it was under the Wilpons, it was always the sky is falling, even when shit was going good.
Yeah.
So as soon as something bad happened, it was just exponentially worse. Whereas now everyone's like, "Oh, Cohen's got it." Even if he doesn't have it, we don't actually have to know. It's just you assume he's just gonna spend it away.
That's what I can't understand. Was it DeComo that tweeted out that there's a lot of negative Mets fans? Of course, there's still gonna be negative Mets fans, but I don't understand how people don't cherish the fact that something's going to go wrong. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to underperform. And we're not just going to sit around forever and do nothing about it. Next offseason, we will address more holes. Steve Cohen will address more holes. At the trade deadline, we will probably be active. We've never been able to say that before. We've never tried to win. We've never tried to win, and we're going to try now. That's crazy.
The trade deadline, if we're in it come July, we'll get another, hopefully get another big name. That'd be awesome. That would be such a fucking, for that to even be a possibility, this Stroman move was made, and over the years we've made Band-Aid moves. But if there's a splash to be made in July and we're poised to, be one piece away.
That's why I like some of the things that we passed up on, the missing out on the Trevor Bauers and missing out on the Springers. It gives you a little bit of flexibility to see how the season shakes out, see who performs up to what we expect, see where we fall short, see what holes we need to plug. And then you also don't know what teams are going to be out of it and who's suddenly going to be available. There might be some all-star players that you didn't even think of could end up on your team.
Yeah, I feel like this offseason too there was more of those big names out there on the trade market. At least it seemed like it with Arenado and obviously Lindor and all that stuff because of the economics of baseball. But again, nothing's changing in the next few months. It's just going to be like I think in the real world and in the baseball world, the financial impact of the last year is going to be felt even more. And I always feel like the names of the trade deadline, those are the really fucking flashy names. And that's when the teams that might be let's keep this guy around in case we're in it. And then by, fucking July, they're like, we stink. We need to start from scratch. Yeah. And that's when we can kind of go in and, Uncle Stevie starts throwing that fucking big old wallet around, wallet slapping. I want Uncle Stevie wallet slapping people. We need to get a fucking gift. If there's a gift of someone just wallet slapping people, that's what I want Uncle Stevie to do. He has the fucking wallet from Pulp Fiction. It says bad motherfucker on it. That's Uncle Stevie. That's what he's going to be doing on fucking July 31st on the post, fucking All-NBA Shaq over Chris Dudley, like you were saying the other day, Kevin. Fucking just dunking on fools.
This was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. That Cespedes trade and Cespedes summer was the greatest thing that I've ever experienced. That August, he had 20 home runs that month. It was the greatest feeling ever. Just every time he was up, being he's going to hit a home run now. Every single time. He's going to hit a home run. There's even a move to be made that's half that, a quarter of that. Sign me the fuck up. And yeah, you're right. Maybe a little blessing in disguise if they're smart and they have good PR, which hopefully they do now. If they make a big splash in July, they should be telling the fan base whether it's true or not. Well, yeah, we had this flexibility because we didn't go get Springer and we didn't go get Bauer. And by the way, Rachel Luba makes her appearance on Starting Nine, saying that she saying that Trevor Bauer was going to go to the Mets because of the shame that he felt for the fuck up with the Mets merchandise and the social media trolling, that he was well, I have to go there. And Rachel Luba was no. That's not right. Make the decision, make the decision for the right reasons. And then he chose the Dodgers. That's not even that good of a story if it was true, and it's blatantly fucking not. Trevor Bauer was going to L.A. He knew that back last year, okay? There was never any goddamn doubt. He used the Mets. I think it probably got closer than he ever thought it was gonna. I think they did get pretty far along, but The idea that someone's going to be like, oh, we messed up, I'm just going to go. That's something that I would do. That's something Feidelberg would do. Like, oh, well, we already announced it, so I guess I just have to do it now. That's not what Trevor Bauer does, okay? That dude was going to L.A., knew it all along, and I don't know what maybe Rachel Luba wants to, like, make it sound like she was the deciding factor, or she was the voice of reason, or, hey, I'm a good agent. I, like, can read my clients well. Come sign up with me. Whatever her reasoning was, come up with a better story. That shit is fake as fuck.
I wish radio was still around, just so then that next CCK you could have picked the Rocket's brain and got in his ass on that one, because that seemed like bullshit.
What did he say to that? I only saw the clip of her. I didn't hear what they said. I mean, I hope somebody pushed back and was like, what?
They were kind of like nodding along, but you can tell. I mean, she's the guest, so you're not going to be like, well, that's a load of bullshit.
Liar.
And also, we're friends with Bauer, and that's a load of bullshit. It's like, what are you going to do?
Liar, Rachel.
She said he went like this. She said he went, oh, I really can't do that to the fan base. And she just told him to go take a walk and clear his mind. And then she called him back, and she's like, you don't really want to go there, do you?
It might be worse if this story's true.
Yeah, that's
I would walk this story back. This makes him look horrible.
Yeah. What an asshole. They are just two peas in an asshole pod. I mean, maybe it's almost like when you break up with someone and then you have the moment of clarity where you're like, oh my God, that person was terrible. What was I doing? Like, that's how I feel about Bauer, where I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this would have been a nightmare to have him. And maybe that's, again, I've said it a million times. Maybe that's defense mechanism. Maybe that's spin zone. Maybe that's making the best out of a shitty situation. But I really feel like some of these antics that have already played out would have already, as it has been nice and quiet with the Mets, aside from their two scandals, but they handle those well, and everything else is pretty quiet. And like, it's just time to get going. And I feel like it would not be had we signed Bauer. So Bauer and Luba can go tell their stories and make up tales and get their retweets and shit. Whatever. Don't need to. See you later.
I might call Bauer the fabler. I feel like he's just a storyteller. He's a storyteller. He's a YouTuber. He's a fabler. That's a fable. And if it's fucking true, it's even sadder. Like you said, Bren, I'm 100% with you on that. And like, is that a guy you want taking the mound for like a game 7? The guy who, that's like a Costanza move, right? Like you said, Kev, you would do it, Feidelberg, and George fucking Costanza would do something so he doesn't fucking
terrible. Imagine being.
And then she plugged the vlog. She was like, oh, you'll trust me, you're going to see it on the vlog this week. It's like, yeah, you're just trying to get views on the fucking vlog. I swear to God, though, if they staged it to the point where he had to reenact the shit on his phone that this happened, I would not put it over on them.
Now, everybody be honest here, because I was afraid to say this at the time. Last year when Trevor Bauer was doing the, like, crack the beer and drink it, and everybody was like, oh, shit. I was like, this is the lamest thing I've ever seen. This is so corny. I wish I said it now because I can go back and be like, I never liked this guy. I never wanted. But I was like, I guess everybody likes this. I thought that was the corniest thing I've ever seen.
Baseball's so lame that anybody who shows a little bit of personality or a little bit of like joking around, a little bit of swagger, I think gets like full credit, where it's like some things are cool, some things are lame.
It just seems so try hard to me. I was like, you're trying to be like, oh, let me like, some celebrations work.
He is savvy in the modern world.
Definitely.
Where he knows, like, this is why like Jared has bought into it because Jared's a buffoon. Jared is like, no. He can take it. He trolls right back. Like, look at him online. He just gives it right back. He doesn't care. That dude cares. And he's smart enough to say, no, I don't care about the trolls. I'm just having fun with them. No, people don't have fun with trolls. You either are bothered by trolls or you don't even recognize the trolls. You don't even like see them or hear them. It's like when Kevin Durant says, like, no, I just like mixing it up online. No, you don't. You're thin-skinned. You want to argue. You want to prove your point. You want people to think you're good. You want people to think you're cool. And so you do these like little antics and you have these fights and you engage them. And then, but you are smart enough to say like, oh, I don't care. And then there's morons that buy it. But there's anybody who's been on the internet and dealt with it at all knows that, like, you're insecure about this. That's, you can tell me whatever you want. Just your actions are saying otherwise. You're insecure about the trolls.
I hate that he's the guy trailblazing the new media, because I love all that stuff. I love that he's got his own YouTube account. I love that he's doing like drone shots and vlogging, but then I just hate his personality. So it's a tough spot to be in.
got to be good if you're going to do all that other shit, right? I mean, like
Bregman tried it, and he had like a hype house with all of his buddies, where it was like him living in the house with his 4 best friends or whatever. But then like the whole scandal happened, and he's also Central Time. Like that shit doesn't work. That's why you got to go East Coast, West Coast, because otherwise you don't have fans.
Like the scandal was a good example. Like you can't do that shit unless it is gravy, unless you're playing well and the team is winning and everyone's happy. It all has to be perfect for you to have your like second career going on during the season. Otherwise, or you have to truly not care, where you're just like, I actually don't give a fuck, and I'm just doing this because I enjoy it. I think Bauer very much cares and very much wants to prove his points and shit. If it was like if Lindor was doing this kind of shit, I don't like any of it. That's why I'm thrilled Pete Alonso shut his shit down. Like that was such a step in the right direction. I think that he was a guy who used to get caught up in arguments and descend into the abyss, and he just was like, totally get rid of it. That is the smart move. You got to have the self-awareness to know whether you're an online person or not. And I think Pete recognizing that was a big, big step.
He killed everything, right? He killed Twitter, Instagram, everything. So God bless. Again, I know our owner being back upset some people on this, and understandably so. But that cat's out of the bag. I'm sticking with Uncle Stevie through that. But you can't have a guy who's literally performing on a day-to-day basis, because that can fuck with your head. We see the shit that people write online. We see it more than most. It's a fucking disaster sometimes. So
the minute that he took the bait on the Padres ISIS fans. That was the silliest, dumbest, obvious, over-the-top trolling I've ever seen. And when he was like, this is disrespectful to America, please stop. I was like, oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Well, speaking of someone who does not have he has a social presence, I actually like his handle. Our guy, You Found Nemo, Finding Nemo, You Found Nemo, leadoff home run in today's spring training game. So believe in it, baby. Finding Nemo, all-star. Let's go.
Prove me wrong, Brandon. Tell me the Bible proverb that's going to lead you to the promised land. The last thing I need is Brandon Nimmo to be like, okay. You know what I mean? I either want him to prove me wrong, or I want it to be obvious that we need somebody else. But just enough where Sandy and the Mets are like, yeah, this is good. This will work. Oh, God. Nothing worse. I'm going to call it when you're in Nimmo limbo, where it's just like nobody's. I don't have a better option than him. Yeah, we're in limbo. We don't have a better option than him. Could do worse. I just want an answer one way or the other.
I will admit this. I try to see the good in my guys. I've officially I'm diehard on the Frank Ntilikina Island after he helped shut down Luka at the end of those 2 Mavs games last year. Yep. I was sold on Frank Ntilikina for life after that. That's all I needed was to beat Porzingis his first 2 games against the Knicks. Brandon Nimmo patrolling center field is going to fucking kill me. I am the guy that's living outside Chernobyl, and I could get maybe 162 games out of this left, but I cannot do any more of this. And the fact that I guess we're going to start in Dom and left, is that the plan? Because it sounds like the DH is done. I saw the tweets about it yesterday. If the DH is done, which is preposterous, that it's done for 1 fucking season, then coming back is peak baseball. But if I have to deal with Dom and left, Brandon Nimmo is the worst center fielder in baseball in center. Even though we upgraded in all the other positions, we still have JD Double Davis at third. There's going to be blood on Sandy Alderson's hands. It's going to be my blood. I have 2 young children. I cannot leave this world right now, Sandy. If I die of a heart attack, number 1 is the food I ate in my life. Number 2 is fucking Brandon Nimmo, though. So you guys either avenge me or sue the fuck out of Sandy Alderson and get some money for my children, because they're going to need it. Because Brandon Nimmo is going to kill a lot of us, I think, if he stays out there in center. And this is a guy who I think, out of everyone on the pod, I think I am the closest thing to a Nimmo fan, and I'm still a hard 6 out of 10 on the guy. But I think I know Kyle's not a Nimmo guy. I know Kevin's definitely not a Nimmo guy. Brent, are you a Nimmo guy?
No.
So fuck.
I was never even borderline. But there's the Nimmo stands on Twitter are fucking insane. And they just throw all these numbers at you. And I was like, dude, I have eyeballs. I can see that he doesn't get a good jump on the ball. I can see that he alligator arms it when he gets near the fence. He's not a good defensive outfielder. And the dude's got 5 hits to start spring training now. So I'm like, I'm just going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, and again, I would always rather be wrong and have these guys prove me wrong and be awesome. Like, go ahead, they'll always have that like 1 month where he was an MVP candidate. It was like literally 1 month. And if he can do it over the course of a season, like, absolutely, shove it down my face or shove it down my throat. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, you can with the number of stats they have now and the way you can frame all of it, you can turn anybody into an all-star by certain measures. So I think this will hopefully be the year where it's like sink or float for Nimmo. Like, we'll find out one way or the other. But it's going to be, I mean, that portion of the field from third, left, and center is going to be yikes. It is there.
If it was like a hitter chart, that is like the fucking dark blue. The dark blue. No, if it was like, the batting chart, like where you can hit, not hit, like that is fucking free hit city if you hit it anywhere in that area. And again, it's like, I like Dom. I love Dom. I like JD Double Davis. I tolerate Nimmo, which this is the thing. I don't like being lumped with those fucking stands either, though, because now I feel like I'm the fucking face of those assholes.
Right.
They are the worst, but it's like he's like Frank Ntilikina. He's exactly what he is. He will play a big moment in a big game in like a playoffs for a team, but he's not like one of your top 5 players by any means. But I do think he's like a pestery, annoying kind of guy that always is on like championship teams. So I like him in that sense. But the news this morning where Jackie Bradley Jr. 2-year, $24 million deal. I'm like, why wasn't that on the table for us? Now, I don't know. It sounds like I read someone said that he was asking for double that, and then the market kind of just collapsed. Maybe we were the market, but I don't know. I feel like 2 for 24 with a 1-year option out. Probably, so then when the DH comes back, he can then sign with the Mets. Yeah. I feel like I would much rather. I'd feel better if Jackie Bradley Jr. was patrolling center. And granted, that's because of highlights and his fucking name. Jackie Bradley Jr. is a great baseball name. A great baseball name. Jackie Bradley, good baseball name. Jackie Bradley Jr. Great baseball.
Spectacular. I feel like we have good memories of him and good thoughts of him because of Boston and the Rocket covering him. Obviously would be a good defensive glove. Would be a terrible bat, though. I don't think we'd be happy in the long run with JBJ. Mm-hmm. I think it feels good right now, but I didn't lose too much sleep over that one. I feel like that would almost be, like I said, I think with Nimmo, you're going to find out like yes or no. And then we either have him or we move on. Whereas Jackie Bradley Jr. would be like almost starting the clock again. Like, well, you got to give him time and see what he does next year. Maybe he'll put it together. It's like, I want a bona fide, real deal center fielder sooner. Is there anybody coming up? Is there any free agents, Kyle? Anybody?
And like what we said before, it's like you get JBJ and then you kind of are committed to that. You don't have that flexibility now. Right. You don't know what who's going to end up on the market this year or next year. Well, you probably know it can happen next year. There's probably a list.
But yeah, that being able to be like, let's have a homegrown, like bridge the gap till the right free agent or the right move is to be made. I don't know if JBJ is necessarily. What are you shaking your head at?
It should have been fucking Jared Collette. We know who the fucking guys are this year. That's just fucking pissing me off. Starling Marte's a free agent after this year, so that's like a guy I guess you could go after, but it should have been.
Everybody else is kind of old. They're all,
and even Marte's not young either, too. So it's like fuck.
Dude,
so here's the thing: if you have the DH next season, then you're just getting him for a defensive position. He's going to be a better hitter than a pitcher at that point, and then you don't have Dom in the outfield. So it's one of those things where if he hits 240, 250-ish, I can live with that if he's covering the ground.
What is the logic behind the 1 year of no DH? What is that? That's insane. Have they offered any rationale behind this?
Rob Manfred says, "What the fuck does logic mean?" Like it's an old sailboat. I believe it's an old.
Such an asshole.
Do you think if we didn't have the Dom situation that we would still be the National League purists that we've been in the past and just been like, well, I don't even understand why it's coming back. We should keep the DH out of the National League.
Full-blown DH fan now, like.
But just because of Dom.
Yeah.
Same here.
I'm saying all the other National League teams are probably like, nah, fuck that. Or all the other people that were like purists, like we were until it suits us.
There's only like 4 or 5 of us total on the planet. I think this is it right here, the remaining DH purists. But my team benefits from it. Let's fucking go. It's inevitable, so let's get it. I'll take it, man. The one thing I will say, that the number one sign that I think we have learned how to handle our PR well enough, or maybe just little things that you don't even really see, like maybe they're not writing the same number of articles and hit pieces and taking shots because it's like, I don't want to fuck with Steve Cohen, or I don't want to fuck with like these guys. They really know what they're doing. Because the fact that the Mets, like, I guess, organization called Mickey Callaway Dick Pick Mick is bad. And that's like not really being talked. It's not a thing. Like, it's not, there's no, blowback from that where it's like, oh, so you give him a nickname, you knew what was going on here, huh? It's just kind of like, that's funny, whatever, move on. I'm like, oh, okay. Just, like, keep it moving over here. So I don't know who that's a good thing, a bad thing. It's, good from a PR, I don't want problems point of view. It's bad from obviously like an organizational point of view of like how you should be running things and how you should handle it when you hear there are problems. But man, Mickey Callaway, if that's your nickname, Jesus fucking Christ, Mickey. And it was hobby, dude. Go do something else besides send your dick to girls. Goodness gracious.
And he was like a comically bad manager. He's just so pitiful at everything in fucking life. Yep. Absolutely fucking pitiful. And Cleveland, what the fuck was going on in Cleveland all these years, right? Like, he was there for a while as the pitching coach too.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck, man? Oh God. I thought you were gonna say with the Mets, the fact that the first day that shit's actually going on, they're like, yeah, by the way, we're wearing number 41 on our sleeves every single game. And it's like, oh, this is what it's like. Like, this is that's something like the St. Louis Cardinals would do for if, whenever, Bob Gibson dies, all right, we're going to hire Bob Gibson. Boom, right off the bat. There was just silence from the Mets until something bad would happen with Tom Seaver. And then they'd be like, oh, we're going to build a statue. Oh, we're going to do the patches. After he either retired from public life or died or any of that kind of shit. It was always reactive instead of proactive. And it's
proactive. Exactly. Boom. And it's something so simple. It's like, there's not going to be any blowback. There's not going to be anyone being like, why are you wearing patches? No. So just fucking do it. Just get the credit. Do it because it's the right thing. Get the credit with the family, get the credit with the fans, earn that goodwill.
And do stuff that people like. That's PR 101. Should we do stuff that people like, or should we do stuff that people hate? Let's just choose.
That's why
be liked.
I would do if I was a sculptor, I would build the statue myself. I would build this Tom Seaver statue, and I would go viral on Mets Twitter by being like, look, I did the work. Somebody just put it in front of somewhere at Citi Field. I just need to get the green light from someone at Citi. I will just drop it off right there on the rotunda, and boom, you're done. And
Steve Cohen's probably gonna have a David Wright statue up there soon. Just I don't know. This seems like something people would like. Let's do that.
Now, I would go make a Seaver statue. If I was the Mets, I'd put up a Seaver statue. I'd put up a David Wright statue. Somewhere I would have a Andy Chavez catch mural or statue of some sort.
They should just paint him on the outfield, just plastered against the wall. He'd just be there forever.
If on the wall, he's that would be so fucking cool. Done. And I would probably do a 2011 home run thing. Have that mural or painting somewhere. Just put up awesome shit. Done. Maybe even the Piazza when he hit that home run and they scored 10 runs in the 8th inning and he pulled it right down the line. I don't know, one of a good Piazza moment too to top it off. That could be a little Mount Rushmore of modern Mets.
We should put a little Johan spot on the field for that ball that was pulled down the line. That was absolutely fair. Just commemorate that foul ball.
The Tommy Agee spot up in Shea Stadium where he hit that home run. We went up there. Did you ever go there?
600 feet.
There is no way he hit a ball there. No way. We sat right at that spot. It's you are a mile from home plate. It's impossible. Yeah, they should put a spot on the field for that fair ball. They should put a chalk outline of Mike Baxter's body up against the wall.
His corpse.
That ball.
That ended that guy's career, right?
Yeah,
I don't think that guy played anymore.
Him and Johan basically died that day. They both died.
They both destroyed their arms.
Yeah.
More bad.
The Mets.
Meanwhile, you say the Piazza, we have to honor the Piazza home run. Didn't the Wilpons try to sell his jersey after it was all bad or something like that?
They did.
Yep.
It's fucking crazy. Just think about that. That's the kind of people that own this team until a few fucking months ago. There is literally nowhere to go but up right
bad.
The Wilpons should have had someone who was their designated say things out loud guy. Where like, have a guy say, so you're going to sell Mike Piazza's jersey for profit. Like sell another guy's jersey commemorating a terrorist attack for profit. Okay. Just wanted to know. Just
say it out loud.
I did say that so you guys could understand how fucking bad of an idea that was. Terrible, man. As far, I mean, so with JBJ kind of off the market, I feel like with the exception maybe of a small signing here or there, and then hopefully a big move in July, I think this is it, right? I mean, I feel like we got our team. Like we got who we're going to war with. And it's creeping up. I mean, time is approaching here. So I don't know. So you got to flip this. My mindset so much was I love the baseball free agent. Like when we had Mets blog and when we had money to spend and when we had Manaya, when all the Puerto Ricans loved us, when people wanted to come play for the Mets and the hot stove and off season was cooking. I almost enjoyed that more than like the baseball season. I was like, I want to know who's making the deals and who's making the trades and what's the value of the contract. And now it's like, okay, that's pretty much done. We got our big shortstop. We missed out on a couple of the free agents. We got little band-aids here and there and some other things and now that's over. Now it's time to like talk about actual baseball games and performance. And that's where it kind of gets scary too. Cause your off season's dope because it's all about potential. And it's like, yeah, maybe Lindor is going to be an MVP, and maybe we could get Bauer and Springer, and then we'll go win, and then we'll go beat. And now it's like you just got to go play a fuck ton of baseball games. Which, by the way, did they settle on an official number?
162.
It's full, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like full season, long way to go, and now you just got to like go do it, and it's like, oh fuck, because that's
got to win games.
The Mets in me, the Mets fan in me. Is like, oh, we're not going to do it. Like win 95 games. Like, I don't think so. I mean, I do think so, but I don't think so,
As it's like getting closer, I feel the feeling that we had before, like every live stream we did after the game, where I'm like, I know I'm going to be in a mood one way or the other as we're recapping the game, and I can feel it. Sienna,
that streak of, like doing 30 straight live streams was fucking
as we were out of the playoff race by like
completely out of it.
That was nuts. That was, I mean, Coors Light, we love you. That was torture. That was fucking torture. Inhumane what you did to us.
That should have been chill out. Should have been the phrase for last year because that's what we had. We were just fired up about nothing. Sienna went outside the other day.
They should make a for 30 about that. Like, what if I told you that when 4 men had to do 30 live streams in 15 games?
The pregame was just like, here's the lineup. And I fucking hate these people.
We'll see after the game.
Yep. Bro, maybe Rick Purcell will get us to the third today. That's what we're hoping for. We're putting over-unders on how many outs we would get. Stephen Matz, what do you think? Either 7 innings, 2 earned, or 2 earned, and 7 earned and 2 innings. Which one do you think it's? It was always the worst option for Stephen. He had no letters in his name by the end of the year. It was a fucking disaster. But spring hopes anew. Like I said, Sienna went outside the other day, and there's a 6-year-old girl, so it's not like she's been experienced. And she goes, "Smells like spring right now, Dad." And I was like, wow. I didn't know, like, I thought that was just something my dumb brain came up with, and, a few other people. She could feel it. And I'm like, when you start saying it feels like baseball season, that's when I know I got a winner of a kid. But it's crazy how every single year, just that first 50-degree day, you're 100% like all in on your baseball team, feel nothing but the best is going to happen. And as I'm watching right now, by the way, Khalil Lee is the bizarro Juan Lagares. He's lefty. His bat is now too long. Juan's bat was too small. Khalil's bat is too long, and he's like waving it, and he struck out on like 3 pitches. So my Khalil Lee hype train took a little bit of a hit here going. But I still feel so fucking good about this team right now. And again, like when Jake makes his first start, I'll be holding my breath the whole time, and all the old Mets things are going to come back. But I mean, I'm going over on the 95 wins. We're going to get the Barstool Sportsbook. I'm going over. Back Clem, over 95 wins. Over.
Wow.
That is so many baseball games.
Oh my God. Clemmy. All right, bold moves. I like the
I think we're gonna win.
96.
Over 95. So we
Wow.
are. I'm going to talk to Westy. He said, yeah, I'm so afraid to do this because I mushed the fuck out of the Jets. And he was like, you want to do a bet for like the draft pick? And I was like, yeah, sure. Ride would be that the Jets will lose every single game. And then, boom, they immediately won. I was terrified. And then I was thinking that maybe we come up with a number that – like one number for all of We Gotta Believe, but no, now we can't. Now we're gonna have to do everybody like you get to bet on everybody's because I'm not going near Clem's over 95. Are you insane?
No, but this is great. Clem can bet the over. That's fine. Go ahead. But I mean, now I'm like, I can bet the under and win money, or my team is winning 95 plus games. That's a no lose situation.
That's a legit point. I mean, if Penn and Westy will do it, we could make the like crazy Clem, the crazy bizarro world Clem, like that. You know what? I'm gonna call you Clem Meenan. That's a Darren move. Over 95. Right.
Me and Darren are living in fucking our fantasy worlds together. But you know what? Like, you guys wouldn't understand. This is a Fangraphs thing. This is advanced stats we're talking about. You guys just don't get the numbers I'm looking at. You're clearly not looking at them. 95 is like probably the low end right now. That's if Thor doesn't come back. We're going to be just
like Pacoda, Fangraphs, and then there was a third just recently, I think.
It was MLB Network.
Wow. Yeah, what did they say? Oh, yeah. That was,
we were 5.
Top 5 teams, yeah. So, like, there's been those 3 major, projections or just predictions that I'm like, oh, no, I don't want the fucking expectations. No, thank you. But it's also like, hey, I look at those other teams that are on there, and I think they all belong. And so, maybe the rest of the league with normal, non-battered Mets brains are like, yeah, the Mets like deserve to be in there. The Mets just haven't done it yet. Like, if the Mets come out of the gates hot and they prove they can play, it's going to be like, oh yeah, they were top like 5 on paper, but look, it's playing out. But when you have had nothing to show that you really belong on that level yet, it seems lofty. And that's why they're predictions and projections, but over 95 is.
All right, let me just admit something right now.
Stick to it.
As I say, I'm sticking to it. But let me just say, as I say this, we have the game on right now, the Mets game on, and Familia just came in the game, and that like just completely took out my guts. I forgot that guy's on the fucking team and is responsible for like
that guy's got to cost you 5 games.
Wins. That's what the Mets need to eliminate. Over the years, the Mets have had too many catastrophically bad players, and I know that sounds like Kevin, give us your analysis of the Mets. Like, well, they are catastrophically bad, but like. We have limited that number right now, Like, there used to be guys like when Aaron Alfair was getting at bats, and it was like he's gonna come up with like 2 on and 2 out with the game on the line, and he's absolutely always gonna get out. And then we had a boatload of guys in the bullpen that was like when it's their turn and they come in a jam, they're giving up 2 or 3 runs every time. And there was enough holes in the rotation where it was like, yep. Like when Rick Porcello is out there, he's going to give up 8 to 9 runs. Now I feel like, the rotation is pretty solid. The lineup is very good. The bullpen remains to be seen with the Lugo injury and whatnot, but like it's just there's a fewer number of players on the team this year that can really just like crush your soul. At least remains to be seen. Maybe there will be new ones to pick up the torch. To carry the torch, to pick up the baton. But right now it feels like there's a level of competence all around that I think has been lacking our entire lives.
Except on the left side of the infield. We're just we said that's going to be a disaster all year.
But even that, so it's like Dom in left might be a disaster, but then he's going to be at the plate and give you like,
there's upside for everybody.
Doubles. Nimmo will be a disaster all around, my prediction. Like J.D. Davis is going to be a disaster in the field, but, he's going to bat 320 and give you 20 home runs. I'll take it. So even the bad things, like there's also a level of good things. So it's not total incompetence all around.
This is going to be the interesting study here is like the Eric Campbells of the world and the Aaron Alteras and all them.
Yes.
Is that it feels like it's a Wilpon thing. Like Uncle Stevie and Sandy with a real owner will not allow that kind of bullshit to go on, and they'll actually get.
It's like, I don't put very bad baseball players on my team. I'm Steve Cohen, you know.
Do you remember? I think it was in 2015, right before Cespedes came on board, and we had just literally like a minor league, and Terry Collins gave that big speech like, "If you don't hit, you're not gonna get played," and it's like,
none of them hit.
That needed to be said. We, as an organization, we were just like, maybe we'll just keep trotting guys out here that absolutely should not be major leaguers. So to your point, like everybody feels like they belong. You know, there's things. Some people are super confident. Marcus Stroman, he's a guy that I'm like, I don't know if he's going to perform to how much he's talking. But you kind of have to say the numbers that he's had. You can feel fairly confident in all these guys. I still don't think it adds up to 95 wins.
It might. I mean, it could. It might. It's just crazy to proclaim it right now.
For the record, we're at 90.5 on the Barstool Sportsbook. Download the app right now. Gamble, bet responsibly.
That's what we'll do, though. We'll boost up some numbers for you so you can bet with Clem. And if it's over 95, you're going to get fucking paid, I'm sure. So we'll talk to Westy about getting those numbers right. But
wait, what's the line? Is it 95 or is it 90?
90.5.
90.5 is okay.
That's a much more reasonable one.
Yeah, the Yankees are 95.5 for the record. So if you think we're a better team than the Yankees, I personally think we are. Fuck the Yankees. If you like the Yankees more, you bet under 95.
96 wins. Let's fucking go, Clem.
Let's go.
I'm gonna wrap up here because I got ATI Clubhouse at 2. But you mentioned Stroman. Give me one player you think is gonna be like a linchpin or like a key to. Or, if he's good, we're set. If he's bad, we're fucked. I think Stroman might be one of those guys. So he says that he's debuting a new pitch. He says that he can pitch now and doesn't need to throw like as hard as he once did. I think that the top of the rotation, I think, is going to be good. And then Stroman will kind of be like the bridge to whether we have a deep bullpen or whether it's going to start to be like a question mark after our 1 and 2. And I think that can make a huge difference. That like 3 starter, I feel like you got to have a number 1 and a number 3. And like 2 is like this lost number. You know what I mean? It obviously makes no sense. But I'm saying that when you have a guy who can stretch your rotation to being closer to a full 5, I think that goes a long way. So I feel like Stroman will be it's going to be like one way or the other with him, I feel like.
I'll go you one more. I'll even say Carrasco. I have no idea what to expect Carrasco. Everyone says he's awesome.
Maybe if Carrasco is like a 3 instead, like that 3 spot, whether it's Stroman or Carrasco, one of those guys. But it might be him. Might not even be Marcus.
I think he could be awesome too. I think he could be like almost like another guy I love. I swear to God, if you guys later this one, there will be a legitimate fight. Rick Reed was always my favorite Mets pitcher. I fucking loved Rick Reed, and quietly unspectacular, but did his fucking job. And when he was cooking, we were cooking. What?
What about Glendon Rush?
Oh, I loathe Glendon Rush. I loathed him.
Because he follows us on Twitter and whatever.
I love Glendon Rush.
You were saying love, right? Love.
All right, so Carrasco's your guy. Kyle, who you got?
James McCann, because he's the bench catcher for all the other teams. He said the last 3 years, he's caught 100 games, but they're going to expect him to catch like 132, 130, 40, whatever it is. That's a big difference. And
huge difference.
Who's to say that hopefully he's got enough protection in the lineup that he can hit a little bit, but you need him healthy. You need him to be in charge of the rotation because Nito is not the guy.
Shit ton of pressure where if he's not good, it's going to be, well, they should have signed Real Muto. Why didn't they open the wallets? Why did they go cheap? That's what the Wilpons always did. Why, we can't criticize the Wilpons for going the cheap route and not criticize Cohen for going the cheap route. So we need him to perform for many reasons on the field and just the off the field perception.
Yep.
Bren?
I think it's the shirtless superhero. How Thor comes back, that midseason acquisition, if he can come back the way we know his actual upper limit is right in the middle of the season. Like if all of a sudden he pops in.
If he's a star, I guess I'm sitting here worried about like the 3 spot, and you got to worry about having that 2, which I'm hoping can be Thor at like his peak. So Couple question marks, but I do feel like other than that, kind of like locked and loaded, ready to go. You hope that a couple guys like bounce back. You hope that a few other guys don't regress. You hope that, Beltran struggled out of the gates with the Mets. I think Piazza even had a first bad year. You got to usually give a little bit of a grace period, but it would kind of suck if Lindor was like, I'm adjusting. It's like, fuck, no. So, all right.
That's another little homework for everyone. Everyone, listen, new season starting. We're getting fired up. We got to get the pod growing as well. 5-star review. Give us your Mets factor. That's the X factor for the Mets. The Mets factor.
I like it.
The guy you think can go where this season could be a 95-win season or it could feel like a 95-loss season by itself. It all hinges on that one poor bastard. Whoever it is, good or bad, give us your Mets factor, equals, give us the name and why you think it's going to be that way.
Rate, review, subscribe, leave your Mets factor, subscribe to the YouTube channel, go to Mets.com/Barstool to get your Barstool the Ballpark tickets, go to the Barstool store to get your Lindor and Uncle Stevie shirts, and we'll keep churning out these preseason episodes. Get ready for the gala, March 31st. We'll give you more details on where you can watch that and how you can get involved. But start thinking now of your best moments as a Mets fan, your worst moments as a Mets fan. Send them along, and the best ones, most entertaining ones will be part of the show. And we'll see you next week. Until then, start thinking of how many wins. And if you're riding with Clem, do you think 95 wins is possible? Do you
believe?
95 wins, 96, and what is that? 56? Gotta believe. 66, 50, 66. That's all right, good. 66 loss. I can live with that. 96, 66. Gotta believe.